Good day, viewers. It's I, NitroSilverNigel, or NitroSilverNigel. Whatever you call me is all good. I'm here once more to tell you about an awesome podcast we're on today, starring our very own guest.
Hello.
Hello. How's it going, guys? Hey, how's it going, guys? It's good being here.
Well, I'm guessing nobody actually knows who I am. That's fine. I'm what they call the Trashman, more specifically Trashman Benjo, and well, I just do nothing and just post memes on the download. So that's what I really do, really.
As for me, I am a SFM animator who do anime video game parodies on a weekly basis. I also do occasional video game reviews. Speaking of which, I really need to work on that Warhammer review. So it's a pleasure being here.
Yeah, I'm King Jeter, and I actually don't really do anything.
We have a lot in common then.
Okay, so here's the first topic, the first question. I got an anime question for you. What's your favorite series to binge watch?
Definitely My Hero Academia is my favorite.
My personal favorite is Dragon Ball Z. It'll always hold a place in my heart from my childhood.
Well, as for me, given that my favorite franchise in the anime world is actually the 2003 Fullmetal Alchemist, it's kind of plain as day to see what franchise I would constantly binge watch. I just watch it because, well, if I'm down, I just watch a bit of it and get my hopes back up again. So, yeah.
Well, my favorite series to binge watch would be the certain magical girl series called Mahou Shoujo Lyrical Nanoha. I forget what year it was I got into it, but I actually got into it through the first retelling movie instead of the actual series, and I've been in love with it ever since.
To be honest, I don't really have any series I go back to binge watch because I'm just kind of one of those people that just constantly watch new animes. But the anime I'm currently binge watching, like I'm finding myself rewatching rewatching several episodes of it like every week, is the recent Sword Art Online, Gun Gale Online alternative anime, because I really like the choreography in that anime, and I'm just trying to see how I can implement that type of stuff for like animes that I'm working on right now.
Right now, for me, I'm watching One Piece. I just finally reached the 200 episode mark. I like the concept and the lore the series have. For me, it's just one of the perfect series to binge watch if you have the chance to. The next question is, what name of the series you're watching right now, and what do you like about it?
Still My Hero Academia. It's a really good superhero story, and the characters are really cute.
I personally don't watch a lot of anime, actually, just because I don't have time, and it's hard for me to get attached to anime, just because it's hard to find one that I care about. So right now, I'm not watching any.
Well, right now I'm currently watching the second season of Boku no Hero Academia, as I still need to catch up on what the hell was actually going on in the series. As for what I like about it, well, given I'm not that far into season 2, I can't give a proper opinion piece as of now. But if we're taking the entire series as a whole, I really like the concept of the quirks. My personal favorite actually belonging to my favorite character in the series, Eijiro Kirishima.
I'm not really watching anything in the moment. The only thing I've really been watching lately is the newest season of High School DxD Hero. I've been watching the High School DxD series since the first season using the Funimation app. And what I like is about High School DxD Hero is how the art design has changed with the new studio that's designing it, and in my opinion, it's a very nice and huge improvement.
Okay, so in addition to GGO, like I stated earlier, I'm watching Megalobox. I really like the animation style, and I'm currently researching to see if it's possible to implement a similar art style for like an original animation project I'm working on, even though it's like 2D anime and I do 3D animations, but I'm just curious to see if that's possible. Also, the other anime I'm watching is Dolly and the Franks, which started off really slowly, but then it started picking up in the recent episodes.
Cool. Right now, for me, it would be both Mare and One Piece. More so One Piece, considering how addictive it can be with the lore and story. And Mare because it's one of the series I started watching at Toonami when I was a teenager. I never did finish the series, so I'm watching it right now just to, see the story and how it goes on. I read a manga, but the anime is totally different. The next question is, what anime you consider cringeworthy and avoid at all costs?
That's a tricky one. I just hate even saying the name. Boku no Pico.
Again, I don't watch a lot of anime, but I think there's a huge difference between anime fans and what is called a weeaboo. And weeaboos are definitely immensely cringy, but not the fans of anime. I met fans of anime, they're all really cool, but the weeaboos are cringy and annoying.
Well, right now I'm, there's not a lot of shows that I would technically consider cringeworthy, but if I honestly had to say one, then that would probably go to Fairy Tail. I tried my damned hardest to get that series done because I go by a policy of finish an anime whether it's terrible or not, and good God, it was pure hell. The show felt like it was a completely dragged out, 270 plus episode long My Little Pony movie with all the friendship nonsense.
Ouch.
Yeah, Fairy Tail is not really the greatest anime out there.
So, the anime that I consider cringeworthy at least would be season 1 of Negima. I hate the first season with a passion as a person that read through almost the entire Negima series and its manga and its sequel UQ Holder. And I hate that it only follows the manga for a few episodes and then it's nothing but hijinks to the last few episodes that have to do with unnecessary character death, time travel, and revealing that the reason said character died is because she apparently made a deal with the devil when she was a kid.
Yogo no Sora. It's supposed to be an anime, but I honestly consider it borderline hentai. There were a couple of scenes in which it literally felt like you were watching a hentai. I wouldn't. Well, I mean, if you're into that stuff, go for it. But if you're just watching an anime that you just want to watch a simple anime, not some weird borderline hentai, I would stay away from it.
I can see that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, for my answer, it would the anime that I would say is the most cringeworthy, had to be the worst anime I ever seen, would be School Days. I've seen the anime. I saw the anime complete series all on the 3DS within the YouTube app, and I said it's so bad I would suggest watching Pupa over watching School Days. I mean,
I forgot about
That's an insult and a half.
And now that song from School Days is now playing in my head.
I'm sorry about that, King. Okay,
it's alright.
Which anime world would you like to live in?
My Hero Academia.
Personally, I mean, as I don't watch a lot of anime, as the ones I have seen, I don't want to live in any of the worlds because they either get destroyed constantly, are attacked all the time, or have demons and or monsters or unearthly things attacking all the time. So, polite pass.
Even though I haven't seen the show myself, I really want to live in the world of Toriko. Basically, if you don't know, in Toriko, there's food everywhere. Hell, there's even islands made off food. The concept of world hunger doesn't exist in Toriko, and that's absolutely great.
Oh my god, I'd live there.
I think I changed my answer.
Okay, now this one was a hard one to decide, so I picked 3 and add a bit of a twist to my answer. The first one, of course, would be the Nanoha world. Who doesn't want to be in a world full of people that can befriend you by firing giant pink lasers of destruction at you?
Fair point.
I'm not even joking. Almost every single enemy she's gone up against became her friend after she either hit them with her super move or one of her more lesser beings. My second choice would be, and don't nobody judge me for this, the To Love Ru world. As for why, Yami is best girl. That's it. And my third choice would be Hyperdimension Neptunia. I just love that. I just love that series to death. I'm like that in that aspect. And
Sorry, go ahead.
as for the twist, the only way I would absolutely live in those worlds is if I had powers of my own.
I'm gonna be honest. I'm with Zarya. I watch a lot of anime, and I'm gonna be honest. I do not want to live in single one of them. Most of the times, the worlds get destroyed. If you're in like an action anime, and if you're in a harem anime, you have to deal with some girl who will slap you for just walking if she just like changing even though you didn't know. It's just like for anime, you don't want to live in the world of anime. It's just there's always some weird situation popping up that will just make you wish not to live there.
Well, I feel sad for that then, but because my answers actually are those same two animes that you forgot to mention up. For me, it'd be a mix between Mare or Monster Masune. Mostly because I like to gain some powers to just live in another world or have well, I'm not sure why most guys feel like this, but to have a harem. Okay, next question. Which anime world you wish to destroy if you had power to?
No Pico.
None, because there's very few I've either seen or haven't been destroyed already. So I would just destroy weebs.
Well, my answer is actually kind of simple, actually. Shibaneta. Now, well, yes, I loved watching the anime as I thought it was insanely fun, the likable characters, and the immense amounts of inappropriate humor that had me chuckling a bit. You gotta think for a minute and just have a quick look at this world. In this universe, anything inappropriate, whether it be looking up, well, the inappropriate content, to even swearing, the SWAT team will be after you. Now tell me, do you think that sounds like an ideal world to live in?
As a sailor mouth, no.
Well, it's not a world per se, but rather a timeline. And Zarya is probably gonna hate me for this, but I would destroy the hell out of the entirety of the Dragon Ball Super timeline.
Yeah, no, Dragon Ball Super is terrible. It was a terrible remake. They skipped a lot of stuff, and I'm really upset about it. Dragon Ball Z Super is garbage.
It got bad when Vegito entered the building.
Don't get me started on the whole Goku.
No spoilers.
No, don't worry, I wasn't going to say anything. I was just saying it got bad during that particular moment, but I won't say anything, trust me.
For me, I would honestly destroy the Berserk world. That world is just too fucked up to live in. It's like they either demons, people just violating women. Is just really a really messed up world, and I would just destroy it in a heartbeat.
I know I'm going to get some hate from this, mostly from the shonen community. With the world, I say that has to be destroyed, the Hunter x Hunter series. Because for me, when I started watching it was so confusing to watch with the cards and the powers. I lost some progress, and I just can't bother with it. And also, it's just too destructive for me. The next topic, what you're watching now. What is the most recent movie you saw?
Deadpool 2. Saw it last night.
Marvel Infinity War. I don't watch a lot of movies or TV in general.
Well, same thing with Zara, actually. My most recent film I saw was Infinity War. Now, don't worry, I ain't gonna spoil anything to anyone who hasn't seen it. I'm pretty sure I'll be kicked out of the podcast if I did that, but I'll just say this. I really, really, really enjoyed the film.
So good.
Yeah.
Oh God, we all must have been reading each other's minds when we was doing that answer, because that's my answer too.
Oh my God.
all I'm gonna say is, just like what Trash said, the movie was good. Now add an extra thing. I cried at the end.
Oh yeah, like a baby.
Wow.
I cried.
Everyone cried that movie.
I wish I just walked out of the theater the last like 30 minutes. I wish I just didn't see it.
Yeah, I'm gonna just say Infinity Wars as well. Fun fact: prior to the movie, Twitter memes spoiled the movie for me. I was able to piece together what happened in the movie by seeing all the Twitter memes posted in my timeline. Like, I remember like seeing this one Twitter meme. I'm like, wait a second. And you know the meme in which you just seeing math going just in front of you? I started putting all the pieces together, and then when I put all the pieces together, I just slammed my fist on the desk saying, great, perfect, I know what's going to happen now.
Well, at least you
Yeah.
the meme I ran into.
Well,
Yeah, the
movie's still-
memes kind of spoiled the movie, but
Yeah.
unfortunately, can't really help it now, can we?
Yeah, but I'm gonna be honest. I've read the comic that was based off of, and I think, of course, I'm not spoiling anything, but I think I do have an idea of how the next one is going to end. So hopefully it'll end well.
I guess we all was in sync because the answer for me is also Infinity War from the Avengers.
Oh my god.
However, there's a caveat to this. By the time
Mhm.
this podcast is uploaded to YouTube, I would have seen Deadpool 2 because
Oh, I
watching
haven't seen it
Deadpool
yet.
today, the recording of this episode.
As a little fun fact, I went to the Infinity War fan night. So when it had first showed, and for the fans, they got a little metal coin. It's about the size of like a $50, and it's actual metal, and it has like the Avengers logo and Infinity War on the back, and it was really cool. We got the Infinity War cups and everything, and it was cool.
Cool.
That's why I hate being broke at the end of the month.
Okay, here's the next question. What movie you plan to see later?
Trashman 2. It comes out around my birthday.
Deadpool 2.
Well, the next question you asked, well, what movie do I plan to see later? Well, here's the thing, by the time whenever the hell this podcast goes up, I would have probably seen Deadpool 2 by now, and, well, besides that, I will plan on seeing Incredibles 2 whenever the hell that comes out.
Oh damn, that's right. That do come out this month, doesn't it? I guess it's my turn now.
Mhm.
All right. The movie I plan on seeing later would be Venom.
Oh yeah, that one looked really good.
I saw the trailer on YouTube, and when I went to see Infinity War, I saw the trailer there too, and Venom's transformation looks way more epic on the big screen.
A little spooky.
Hell
So
yeah!
good.
Like you, all you see is his tongue coming out on if you're watching on YouTube, but if you watching the trailer in the theater, it looked like he is snarling at you.
Oh yeah, it's spooky. It's scary.
Oh, and another movie I'll probably go see later, if it comes to the States, would be the fourth Nanoha movie, My House Shoujo Lyrical Nanoha Detonation, which is a part 2 to Nanoha movie that came to the States last year, or well, actually early this year, My House Shoujo Lyrical Nanoha Reflection.
For me, going to see Deadpool 2, need to watch Deadpool 1. The Ant-Man movie, because I really like the first one. The Incredibles 2. Fun fact, I never watch any Pixar movie in the movie theaters. I always watch them like when they come on DVD or VHS. So
Same.
Same for the most part, but then Toy Story 3 happened, so...
Yeah, exactly.
Same here, actually.
Yeah, it's kind of weird when you think about it. But anyway, also I wasn't gonna put this in, but King reminded me, Venom. Like I really like the Spider-Man comics, and Venom was another good villain in my opinion, and just seeing them do justice to him compared to Spider-Man 3, I'm actually looking forward to it.
Fun fact, actually, from what I hear, Tom Hardy is actually the one doing
Oh,
Really?
that's cool.
That's a surprise.
Okay, here's my answer for that question. It's no longer in theaters, but the movie I want to see is Ready Player One because I love the novel. I don't care if people say the movie's terrible. I don't care if people say the movie's great. I'm going to see it because I love the novel, and I want to see the adaptation and see if it did it justice.
I wanted to go see that so badly because I'm a 90s kid, and from what I hear, most of the references in Ready Player One is from 90s pop culture.
I actually kind of liked the movie Ready Player One. Yes, there were multiple changes from the movie to the book, and I can understand why people didn't like that, but the changes were different and unique enough to really stand out in my opinion, so I really, really enjoyed the movie.
I never saw Ready Player One because originally I thought it would be one of those movies like it's nostalgia bait, but I've been hearing more and more positive things about it, and I kind of wish I saw it in the movie theater, so I'm probably going to watch it when it comes out on DVD.
The next question is, what movie do you consider strange in creation or just in viewing?
Not sure how PG this is, but the Human Centipede.
Oh,
If you don't know it, don't Google it.
yeah,
I know
I
it.
think most of us know.
I
Still
thought
get shivers down my spine.
So yeah, so that one's definitely my top weird movies. It was a pretty good movie though, if I'm not gonna lie. This is a decent movie.
Well, my answer's actually a little bit different. The movie I thought was strange in creation and viewing was actually the Netflix Death Note movie. Now, despite what people initially thought of the movie, I actually did not mind it. I just felt like some of the major changes, and by major changes, I mean like major changes, they were, how should I put this, bizarre and kind of not needed.
Mm-hmm.
The movie I consider strange hasn't come out yet, but I saw a trailer for it. Happy Time Murders.
Yeah, I don't know about that one.
Never heard of
I
it.
don't know.
It's
It
basically it's a movie about. It's a
It's like
rated R movie about Muppets and shit.
Oh, that movie.
Literally R-rated Sesame Street. I've seen the trailer. It's actually just giving me kind of a chuckle.
That reminds me of an old Fox show called Greg the Bunny. That's kind of remind me of that.
I don't know why, but it reminds me of Sausage Party.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, a lot of people are
Reminds me
really
of that
upset
old
about
Comedy
it.
Central show Crank Callers.
I've seen the trailer for that movie. I just never had any feelings towards it.
I saw the Red Band trailer for that movie.
Oh, for me, it's my turn now.
Yep.
Fun fact: originally I was gonna put nothing, but then Zara reminded me about the Human Centipede, so I'm changing my answer to the Human Centipede. Thank you, Zaria. Thank you for reminding me of the
Yeah,
mental
man.
Thank you for reminding me of the mental scarring of that movie.
Yeah,
I
man, don't worry about it.
I saw that when
Like-
I was 10.
No, I remember seeing that movie when I was in college, sophomore year of college with my roommates, and we saw it on Halloween. And one of my college friends said, "Hey, how about we go see? Have you ever heard of this movie called The Human Centipede?" I'm like, "No, let's
Mm.
watch it. I heard it's pretty messed up."
No, that's a movie you watch by yourself.
Well, I didn't know at the time, and I was glad I watched it like when the student lounge by ourselves, not with people walking by
Yeah.
it. But that movie was messed up, and I just remembered about it.
Yeah, as someone who loves horror movies and has grown up on horror movies, I wasn't as disturbed by it. It was a very original concept, but I wasn't too bothered by it. And to me, it was a pretty decent movie. I haven't seen the second and third one yet, but
There's a fourth one.
What there's more of them?
yeah,
Wait, there's
they're.
actually more?
Yeah, you didn't know?
I think they're on Netflix.
No, I didn't.
I didn't.
I think they're
Oh.
on Netflix.
I have
Oh,
Netflix.
no.
I have
Don't do it,
Netflix. I don't think I watched. No, I'm not watching the other ones.
Movie I'll say that's strange in creation or just viewing is Birdman that came out in 2014. For me, it was a very emotional roller coaster. I just couldn't tell what was going on, especially that ending. But the one thing I did like it was a continuous shot for the movie. It's almost watching it now reminds me how they did that for God of War 4. Well, the recent God of War.
Oh yeah, it's just one panning shot that doesn't really cut away. Huh.
Okay, here's the next question. What movie left more than a bad taste in your mouth?
I only go and watch movies that I know I'm gonna like, so I don't have an answer for this one.
Well, my answer's actually kind of weird. It's a movie called The Boy. For those who don't know, it was a horror movie that came out in 2016. A few friends of mine who have seen it told me it was, well, watchable because it was an extremely spooky movie worth my time. Guess what? It wasn't. Nothing scary was ever in the movie, and it felt like a B-list horror movie at best. Like, the plot twist was actually kind of easy to figure out. The characters were very, like, they were badly written, and it was just a mess.
Oh, I changed my answer. I just remembered. The movie The Babadook. I feel like everyone like overhyped it. It was like, oh, it's a great scary movie, but in my opinion, they could have done a lot more with it, and it just kind of sucked, and it drug on.
A movie that left more than a bad taste in my mouth. Modica Magica Rebellion. I hated it for its ending.
Oh wait, the third Madoka movie?
Yeah.
Oh, wow, yeah.
For me who watched through the entire original series, this was basically my reaction. The series. You feel so bad for Hamura because of what happens near the end of the series. Then you watch Rebellion and see how it ends, and all you can do is be like, fuck you, Hamura.
Actually, if we're talking like anime movies, I'd like to add another one to the mix. The end of Evangelion. Like to anyone who's seen it, which a majority of us probably have, you could tell the struggles that I might have went through watching the end of Evangelion. I felt a bit sick, shall we say? I mean, the ending was weird. Everyone, actually, no, I shouldn't say because of spoilers. But it was just, and if you've seen the first 30 minutes and what the main character does, yeah, no, I've had enough.
Okay, so for me, let's see. For me, it was a Warcraft movie. Like, it was, I wouldn't say it wasn't bad. It just felt like some of the choices they made was kind of weird. Also, the fact that they were trying to adapt a war, like a MMO, for a movie setting. There was a part of me that I knew it wasn't going to be that great, but I just wanted to see it as well. I literally came out of the movie saying that was a waste of money I ever spent in my whole life for a movie.
Okay, here's my answer, and you guys are gonna love me for this one. At first, I was
Oh,
gonna say
boy.
Spider-Man 3, but now I'll change my answer. I'm gonna go with Fantastic Four or Fourtastic.
Fortastic.
You mean the Fantastic Four reboot? Oh, yeah, don't.
I hated that movie because
Oh, so bad.
It was.
there was so many scenes I saw in the trailer that did not even make it into the movie, and then at the very end, if I don't care if I would say the spoiler, but they don't even say the title of the team.
Do they really not?
No, they didn't say the title of the team whatsoever the whole movie.
I only saw bits and pieces.
Be
That's
glad.
dumb.
Be glad you had not seen that movie. Worst $20 I spent on a family to watch that movie.
I'm dying.
When I saw it, I knew it was going to be bad, and I'm glad I did not spend the money.
Okay, here's the next question. What movie will you share to others but might be hated for liking it?
Not gonna lie, I loved the Lego Batman movie. It was really cute. I liked it.
Well, to add on to Zara's point, yeah, I also enjoyed the Lego Batman movie, but if I were to add in my thoughts on what my movie would be, well, it's actually kind of simple, really. Rogue One. I honestly have no idea why people didn't like it. Actually, wait, I say that. I do know why people didn't like it. I'm not going to say it because of spoilers. But if we compare it to the other Star Wars movies that come out in this new decade, which being 7, 8, and the Han Solo movie, Rogue One's the best movie we've gotten so far.
I think my movie that people hated that, but I liked. Get ready to cringe. Dragon Ball Evolution.
Oh my god.
What?
Oh no. You need to
Really?
leave. You need to leave.
Are you serious?
Let the man speak.
I understand why people hated it, but I loved it for the soundtrack. The soundtrack was amazing.
Okay, yeah. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, fair point. The soundtrack was actually kind of alright.
The soundtrack to the game was actually even better.
How dare you?
How dare you?
I never
Ooh.
played the game, I just saw the music on YouTube.
I'm going to be honest, I'm pretty conservative when it comes to movies, so I don't really have an answer for that one.
Well, for me, my answer, I know this is gonna make so many people cry when they hear this, but the movie I say that what people would hate me for watching, but I loved it, was Wolf Children. Man, it's making me cry just thinking about it, because that
Wolf
ending-
Children.
Wolf Children.
I love that movie, but so many people, my friends, hated that movie because it made them cry.
I haven't seen Wolf Children. It's on my bucket list, but I really am I'm gonna probably see it like later on in the year. So
I haven't watched it all the way through. I have it on my I have it in my PlayStation Video digital library.
True gamer or not, what game are you playing right now?
Pokemon Ultra Moon.
I am playing Skyrim. Because I love it. I'm playing Pokemon Sun. And on my phone, when I'm out and about, I play Pokemon Go.
well, I'm actually wrapping up my playthrough of Kingdom Hearts 1. Given that Kingdom Hearts 3 is gonna send the JRPG fandom down an emotional spiral later in the year, I decided to buy Kingdom Hearts 1.5, 2.5, and 2.8 just so I'm prepared for the hell that awaits me in the third game.
Wait, how far are you in Kingdom Hearts 1?
I'm actually near the end, actually. I'm fighting Chernobog, because I believe after I fight him, I fight Ansem, and then, well, yeah.
Did you do the Hades Cup yet?
Yes, I did.
Okay. Oh, Dad of Boy.
Dad of Boy.
God of War.
Best title ever.
I've watched Twitch streamer and YouTuber and Maximilian Dude play it. I love it. I played it myself. I haven't been trying to really play it more right now because my PlayStation's an ass that likes to overheat.
Man, that sucks, dude.
Oh, don't worry. I ordered an exhaust cooling fan as soon as I got my money.
For me, I'm just been playing Dragon Ball FighterZ lately. In fact, just last night I got the new DLC for Zamasu and Vegito. They've been really fun to play. I don't really play competitive for Dragon Ball FighterZ. I just play more of a casual setting. But I'm really enjoying Dragon Ball FighterZ. In fact, it's the first fighting game I played in like recent years that I've been playing like almost every day.
Oh, damn, that's right. I also like to add something to my answer. Come the 5th, I will also be focusing on Blaze Blue Cross Tag Battle.
Yeah.
Pre-ordered it last month.
On my end, I have to wait. Sorry. I realized that on my end, I have to wait until June 22nd until Cross Tag Battle comes out. So.
Yeah, and I'm also going to play Blaze Blue Cross Tag when it comes out. In fact, I have like an animation planned out for a couple days after it comes out. The thing is that originally I was thinking about streaming the multiplayer, but unfortunately, the single player, my bad. But unfortunately, Arc System just released a policy saying, yeah, we don't want you streaming the single player.
So it's Persona 5 forever again.
Well, that's weird.
Oh.
Because I've seen quite a few people who got the game early streaming the episodes.
They are lucky then.
Yeah, I saw the actual story mode, and I'm not saying anything, but it was something. That's all I'm gonna say.
I'm just glad it's in English dub. For some reason, to me, a lot of the jokes they do in Blaze Blue sound way funnier in the English dub.
Okay, for my answer, I would say I'm playing. I know I'm going to get some hate for this because these games are coming out. They came out a couple years ago, but right now I'm playing Final Fantasy 15 and Zelda Breath of the Wild with all the DLC.
I remember playing Final Fantasy 15 last year, and I really loved it. The ending broke me. I'm not spoiling anything, but I haven't felt that way for a game in like years.
Yeah, I can agree with you there. I played 15's ending. I got through 15's ending, and again, I'm not going to spoil anything, but Jesus Christ, I couldn't speak for about 6 hours.
Yeah,
that's how much it broke me.
It broke me as well.
The only reason I put those games up there was because I got them a couple years ago with the pre-order, but because of my scheduling and pretty much doing YouTube almost all the time, I just hadn't had the time to sit down and play these games for hours on end as I want to. What game would you say is best tier now? Probably might win the game of the year.
Maybe Final Fantasy?
I don't play enough games to know because I have terrible motion sickness, so my selection of video games is very, very low. So.
Well, if we're talking about games that are worthy of becoming Game of the Year, I think the answer's already there, that you think it's probably going to be God of War. I mean, I played throughout the half of it, and I can definitely agree why people are loving it. It's one of the best games I've ever played, and it's more than likely going to grab a few Game of the Year awards.
Well, if I had to pick a game that had potential for becoming Game of the Year up there with God of War, Detroit Become Human. I don't have the game myself. I love the demo, and from what I've heard and what I've seen, it has a lot of potential to go head to head with God of War for Game of the Year.
I've been hearing mixed things about it, to be honest. Like, I've been hearing people on Twitter complaining about David Cage writing and other stuff. I'm not I think you're right. It will be like a Game of the Year contender, but I seriously doubt it. I don't know if it'll win, to be honest.
Then again, this is Davis Cage we're talking about here, the same guy who made Heavy Rain, aka Jason Simulator.
Okay, here's my answer. I would say God of War as well, just because it tells you a great story, gives you a sense of adventure, and responsibility about raising that boy.
I think you skipped over me. I think.
Sorry, Doc, I didn't mean to.
It's fine. It's fine. Honestly, I'm just gonna say God of War as well. I think God of War could take Game of the Year, and I think Dragon Ball FighterZ will win like the fighting game of the year because like despite the fact I'm looking forward to BlazBlue Cross Tag, I think Dragon Ball FighterZ have more mainstream appeal than BlazBlue, and I wouldn't be surprised if Dragon Ball FighterZ wins like an award for like fighting game or multiplayer or something like that.
I agree with you for the most part, but then I came to the realization that, oh wait, we still got Smash Bros. To look forward to, so for all we know, that could like grab Game of the Year for all we know.
Probably just gonna be a Switch edition of Super Smash Bros. For Wii U and 3DS.
Well, if it is, I'm gonna be disappointed, but if it's an actual new game, then we might be looking at some contenders for Game of the Year.
Okay, if it is a new one, I need to get a new main.
Speaking of that, what game do you consider worthy of your hype? As we already mentioned, that game could be it.
When I get Jurassic World on PC, then I'll have an answer.
It just got the word of release just got released about a couple days ago. But the new Pokemon game for the Switch, Let's Go Pikachu, because it also hooks up to Pokemon Go, and just the commercial for it. It's just the game looked beautiful and. I'm so excited for it. It comes out in November.
Pokemon Go.
Well, my thoughts, I know it's kind of a cliche one to mention, but BlazBlue Cross Tag Battle, now, I'm guessing everyone knows why this is probably my most hyped up game for the year. I mean, four of my favorite franchises are coming together into one, and it's just an absolute mess, and I love it. And given that I played the beta twice, I am more than fair to say that I'm excited for the game.
Everybody gonna think I'm biased about this, but Kingdom Hearts 3. It's been a long time, 6 years in the making, and they're finally doing a release date this year. And after seeing the footage from the Kingdom Hearts 3 premiere event, I'm ready. My body is ready.
For me, it's gonna be the Spyro Reignited trilogy. Like,
oh yeah.
I think, like, normally I don't really trust Activision when it comes to video gaming in general these days, but I feel like based on how they handled the Crash remaster, I have very high expectations that they'll be able to succeed with the Spyro remaster.
Let's just hope that God isn't as bad as Enter the Dragonfly, because if it is as bad as that, then we are going to have problems.
Seriously doubt it.
It's like doing the first 3 games like they did for Crash, right?
Yeah, basically.
Okay, here's my 2 games. I want to say one, but I had to choose 2 games. The first game is Super Smash Brothers for the Switch, because I just want it now. I'm a big Smash player. I never determined, but I'm no pro, but I want it now. And the second game had to be my all-time favorite, one of my all-time favorite Spider-Man games coming out this year is Spider-Man for the PS4.
That one did look good.
The only sad thing was when I tried to pre-order the game, they crashed the server so bad to the point where I can't get the pre-order anymore now. I tried to get the collector edition and can't even get it now. Now, if anyone's listening to the podcast and would like to sell theirs edition for $200, I will buy it for you for $200.
Nitro, no. That's like me telling Verve to sponsor me through this podcast.
Actually, if we were allowed to choose 2 games, I would like to add another one if you don't mind. The other game I wanted to mention actually was the World Ends With You Final Remix. Now, my buddy is actually, well, one of my friends actually has actually been trying to get me into the World Ends With You for quite a bit, and given that it was confirmed that it's coming out for the Switch, now would be the perfect time. Except we don't have a release date, and that's actually kind of bugging me.
Name a game that you would never ever play. It could be a series as well.
Resident Evil. I get creeped out too easily.
Because of my motion sickness, there's already a long list of games I can't play. Nintendo makes good games that don't mess up my motion sickness. So if it's not Nintendo or selected few others, I kind of can't play them.
My one's actually kind of a sad one, actually. Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite. Now, I really had high hopes for the game when it was announced back in December of 2016 because it looked pretty and I loved the looks of it. Then the demo came out, and then my thoughts started to change, and then the game came out, the reviews started coming in, and, well, suffice to say, it didn't go so well, and I'm probably not going to be picking up the game, and it annoys me, really, because I really, really enjoyed the other games in the franchise, my favorite being, obviously, Marvel vs. Capcom 2, but it really bugs me that Infinite just had to suck.
For me, I guess it would be Dark Souls. I played one of his incarnations, Neo. I died so many times during the tutorial prologue. I got it from GameFly, saying, well, everybody been loving this so much. I played it, died so many times. Yep, going back in the mailbox.
For me, any Konami games these days, I do not support the business practices now, and I would not lend them any of the money.
I tried Metal Gear Survive, I couldn't play it, it was just an absolute train wreck.
And people still defend that game. I remember...
Wait, they do?
Yeah, I remember releasing a parody for Metal Gear Survive. It just, like, Big Boss saying, fuck Konami, like something simple, straight to the point. And then I looked at the comment section, there are people adamantly defending the game, saying, oh, Metal Gear Survive is not that bad. It may not be bad, like, in terms of, like, Ride to Hell or like, Dragon
Mighty Number 9.
Yeah, exactly. It may not be...
Forces.
Yeah. It may not be that type of bad, but it's
not good either.
Exactly, and it's like very mediocre compared to the other MGS games in the series, which been high caliber.
You shouldn't even worry about that. That's probably just a bunch of people that suck Konami's metaphorical cock.
Probably. I mean, it doesn't upset me, but it just amazes me that people still defend Konami to this very day, despite the fact that the business practice has been exposed numerous times. The war conditions has been exposed numerous times. People still defend them.
Okay. For me, I would say I can never play the Resident Evil franchise as much as the next player will. I mean, I do like some horror games, and I did play the game, I forgot what the title was. But I just can't get into the Resident Evil franchise easily. I played the original 2 on the GameCube. I mean, the original Resident Evil 2 on the GameCube when it came out. I never could finish it because I just wanted a rocket launcher at that time, but I never could finish the game because of the tank controls you had. It's just kind of hard for me to be confined in a small space to move in a game. Now, I will say Dead Space made it seem more realistic. Okay, name a game that you would play but just don't have the time for.
Final Fantasy Online. I mean, me and my boyfriend used to play it all the time, but at the moment it's been about 2 months. Never bothered.
I would go back and play Silent Hill 4, The Room. And I would revisit my childhood and recomplete Banjo-Tooie, the sequel to Banjo-Kazooie, on the N64.
Oh my god, is that what it was really called?
Mm-hmm.
Now, if we're talking games I already own and played a tiny bit of, I would say Nier Automata because I've been meaning to complete that. But if we're talking about games that I just want to get or don't have the time for, now, I know some people are going to be angry when I say this, but I never got the chance to play Dragon Ball FighterZ. Like,
You mean the story mode, right?
No, I mean like the entirety of the game. Like, I've been meaning to pick it up, but for some strange reason, I never got the chance to, and it really bugs me because I've been hearing a lot of good things about it, and I just feel bad. I will get it, it's just a matter of when.
A game that I don't have time for right now. There's 2 of them, and they're both MMOs. One of them would be Terra, which recently got a port to the PS4, and the other one would be Final Fantasy 14, because 2 factors for Final Fantasy 14. I don't usually have time, and I don't usually have money for it.
For me, it's Monster Hunter World. I originally, in fact, I remember saying, okay, I'm going to stream Monster Hunter World once I end one of my streams. But then while I was talking to one of my friends, he said that Monster Hunter World is like a 50 to 60 hour game, even though my streams are usually like 1 hour long. Well, 1 hour, 2 hours long, which means I'll be streaming that until possibly the end of the year. So I want to try that out, but I don't think I have enough time. And I was just recently reminded about this, Persona 5. I'm up to December in the game, and I've been meeting.
Oh,
Yeah, I just passed a major spoiler in the game. But I've been meaning to beat it, but I just don't have the time. It's definitely one of my favorite JRPGs of all time, but I just don't have the time to like finish it.
wait, like, question. You're saying in December now, right?
Yeah, I'm in December.
Now, of course, don't say anything because spoilers, but did you get past the 7th Palace, or are you still on the 7th Palace?
The one about the boat.
Yeah, that.
I'm in it. I'm in that palace.
Ah, right. Just wondering.
Mm-hmm.
'Cause I've already completed it, and you won't be that far off from beating the game.
Yeah, like, I know I'm not that far. Like, I can literally taste the ending, but I just don't have time to beat it. In fact, my sibling keeps asking if she can play it, but I keep telling her, no, I haven't beaten it. And she's like, but the game's been out for a year. You played the game last May, and you still haven't beaten it. I'm like, I'm just struggling. I'm like animating every day. I'm doing all the other stuff. I'm just having a hard time figuring out when I can beat it.
I still have hope that somewhere down the line they're gonna add at least Joker to Blaze Blue Cross Tag Battle.
He appears there as a skin.
Well, my life is over now. Time to go grab the road.
Then again, I've been hearing rumors about Persona 4 remaster, even though we've already gotten one, but
And I'm looking forward to.
For me, I'll have to say if no one's gonna say this, I have to say the Mega Man franchise. I've been dying to play it since I was a kid when I got it for GameCube. And the only problem is I still have the collection for the GameCube, and recently got the re-releases for the Switch, well not Switch, but for the PS4. And I just want to play it so much, but like Dai said, most YouTube creators don't have the time to play games like they used to anymore, because they're always creating videos or editing or doing something worth of videos. They don't have the time to time to play it as much as you want to. I had these games for up to like 5 years, well not the PS4 version, but the GameCube version for 5 years, and I still haven't played it. Okay, what does the written word mean to you? And the question is, what novel are you reading right now? That includes light novel or any written form of literature. So it can be manga or webtoons and all that.
I don't actually have any books. I just read fan fiction.
I don't read as much as I probably should. Outside of school, I've probably only read 4 to 5 books front to back. Not a huge reader, so I don't really have an opinion.
well, on my end, I'm actually rereading Ready Player One again. Given I've watched the movie and really liked it, I want to quickly head back into the book and notice all the other changes, which I've gotten halfway into the book again already, and I still love it as I did when I read it way back when. So,
well, I actually didn't put an answer for this, but not because I said mama and stuff like that. I've been reading through the translated version of Nanoha Vivid and UQ Holder, and a manga adaptation of a movie I mentioned earlier called Nanoha Reflection, the comics. And I've actually already read through the complete Vivid manga, but that was in Raws, and I don't speak or read Japanese.
The only manga that I've been reading recently is Goblin Slayer. It's very dark. It kind of reminds me of Berserk a little bit, but I'm having a lot of, I can't say fun because it kind of soul crushing from time to time, but it's been an interesting read.
I'm rereading Ready Player One, so you and Trashman are gonna have fun when we do a book club next week. By the way, other than that, I've been reading Musuko Tensei, Jobless Reincarnation from the manga section. It's good. I recommend it. The only sad part, they're never gonna make anime out of it. The next question is, what novel have you read that you hated more than anything? And this also includes any written word of literature. It can be any sort of thing you read.
I think I have a few, but I can't remember any of their titles because I hated them that much I gave them away.
Again, I'm not a huge reader because I don't know why, but I'm very picky when it comes to reading. So most of any book that I didn't like, I didn't like.
Okay, my choice sounds a tad bit cliche because you guys probably heard the details about this one already, but one of the books that I've read that I've hated quite possibly more than anything is Twilight. Now, I figured people, like, when it first came out, like, when the movie came out, I figured people were over-exaggerating on how bad it was. So I figured, you guys, and then I just read the books, and I found out that they weren't kidding. It's actually that bad. I didn't actually feel that great after reading all three of them, so...
The book that I hated was, I didn't hate the book per se, but I hated how it ended. Chibi Vampire Karin. Actually, I'm not gonna say anything about spoilers because in case anybody decides to read it sooner or later. But basically, it's about this teenage girl who's a vampire, but instead of sucking blood, she gives it. A blood maker. It's also been adapted into an anime, which I think the ending for that was way better.
Yeah, I remember watching the anime years ago. It was meh to me.
Well, needless to say, the ending of the manga, it's not as good as of a happy ending.
I actually saw most of the series on the manga section. Never actually finished it. I saw like the first book, and I'm like, oh, this seems interesting, but I never finished the book. But for my answer, what book I said that was terrible, it had to be Twilight. I bought the book, I read the first few chapters, and I legit would say this, I took it to a book burning the next week, and I had fun. That was the best fun that book has ever provided me, burning in hell. Okay, the next question is, do you consider yourself a good reader? If not, why so?
I think I'm a good reader. I read 3 fan fictions a day. If I had books, I would read those.
No, I don't. Because I don't read more than enough, and I should read more.
Well, I consider myself a good reader, actually. I've actually been reading books ever since I was actually 2 years old, so if that's anything to go by. Yeah, I've been reading books for quite a bit of time.
I consider myself a good reader. Why? One word. Fan fiction.
Oh my god.
I'm more of an internal reader, to be honest. Like when I'm reading, like a lot of times I read articles by myself. Like I usually read it inside my head, and then I'm able to comprehend it pretty quickly. But if I'm reading out loud, that's when I tend to struggle. I'm fixing this with my visual novel live streams. In fact, I'm streaming Neko Power right now, but I'm more of an internal reading, and I'm just trying to get it to a point where I can read pretty proficiently out loud.
I have to agree with you, Dai, because for me, I mostly read in my head, but when it comes to reading out loud, because my the way I speak, because I'm from not two different countries, I'm from one side of the country, coming to another side of the country, the speaking patterns are completely different, so when I try to merge them, they sound like terrible. But I do consider myself a good reader, because when I was in high school, I used to read like 50 novels not every week, but every month. And now I just wish I can return to that schedule, but because of my YouTube business, it's pretty much been to like 1 novel a month now, and that's including manga too, so that's pretty much dragging it down. What books do you have in collection that you care to share?
The Harry Potter series, pretty obvious, and the Pegasus series.
I have a lot of Wiccan books. If you don't know what that is, just ignore me. But yeah.
Well, I may or may not have a majority of the Tokyo Ghoul manga. I really, really enjoyed the manga, but the problem is the anime exists, and well, the anime was how should I put this? Disappointing, rushed, both. I don't know.
Well, it's not a novel per se, but I have quite a few original volumes of the Negima manga, and I've recently started a collection of the omnibus volumes of the Negima manga.
I'm gonna be honest. I only been reading like physical copies. I only have like YouTube guides such as how to grow on YouTube, stuff like that. I don't really have a lot of physical copies to share, and a lot of the reading I do for fun these days are like usually manga, which I usually read online. So don't really have a concise answer for this one.
For me, I have to agree with you guys, and almost the same way. The only difference is I actually have more books than I can read. The only problem is I have more manga than novels, so it's kind of strange to have that many manga, but there's also more comics than manga, so it's like a 3-tier thing. Like comics is top tier, manga second tier, novels is third tier. I just have a collection of almost anything that I could read just in case if I have to read something, but mostly I don't have the time to read it, so I'm mostly reading stuff online, so mostly just going to Webtoons app. Next question is, what novel do you got by mistake and don't ever plan to read? And this includes manga as well.
I don't really get books, but you know, when you go to Free Comic Book Day and there's just some that you don't really care about, but you know, it was free.
Well, my choice is I would be surprised if you guys have actually heard of the movie for this, let alone the book. The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo. I got the novel sometime before the movie actually released, and I figured I was going to like the movie, but surprise, I didn't. I haven't opened the book because I didn't like the movie, so I guess you could say that I probably made a mistake there.
I'm more or less like Zarya. I went to the comic book shop on Free Comic Book Day. Only thing I really picked up was this Avengers comic book. Nothing else seemed to interest me. But past that, I paid for the rest of my comics I got that day, which were volumes 2 through 4 of the new IDW Sonic the Hedgehog series. Issue 1 of the Boom Comics Power Rangers Shattered Grid story, and I also bought a pair of comics from original artists too.
To be honest, I don't really have an answer for this one because I'm pretty selective of what I read, so don't really have an answer.
For me, I would say The Bride Collector. You think it sounds like one way, but when you actually read it, it's a whole different story. For me, I thought it was a romance novel because at the time I needed some romance in my life because I'm tired of being lonely. Only turned out it's a horror novel, and just made me feel even more lonely. The next topic is comics. Am I right or am I right? What company do you support most for your comic buying? Marvel, DC, Image, Dark Horse, Valiant, or IDW, or etc.?
I'm definitely more of a Marvel person. As we speak, I'm wearing a Marvel shirt, actually. But I like Marvel. There's sprinkles of DC that I like, and there's probably a tad bit of Dark Horse that I like as well.
As for me, it'd probably have to be Archie Comics. Everyone probably already knows them by the Sonic comics they made that lasted for like over 20 years, but given that my grandfather used to own the original Archie comics starring, well, take a wild guess, it was bound that I was going to read those growing up. I do have a majority of the comics somewhere in my house, I just need to find them.
I guess for me it would be Marvel, IDW, and Boom Comic.
I'm going to say Marvel. Always been more of a Marvel person.
For me, it's a tie between Image Comics and Marvel. I do have a collection for the other companies, like the ones who was mentioned, and some companies even not mentioned, like independent comics. I actually have like 6 issues. Some of this one independent artist. Love his work. He really should work. We really should support his work. But it's mostly just Image and Marvel. My dad grew me up on Marvel, but I wanted to grow my kids on Image because the characters are owned by the creators themselves. Okay, who is your top 5 favorite comic heroes in all time, if you can think of any?
So I kind of just mostly stuck to Marvel just because, you know, it's one of those questions where, like, you know, but when you're asked it, you draw blank. So I really like kind of an anti-hero, but I liked Yondu from Guardians of the Galaxy. Iron Man is definitely my top favorite. Deadpool's always a classic. Spider-Man's a classic as well. And from X-Men, my favorite is Nightcrawler.
Well, given I've only read Marvel and Archie comics, yeah, I haven't focused on DC, my bad. Guess I can only say my favorites from Marvel because Archie comics is just Sonic and, well, there's not really anything there. Well, in no particular order, my list goes from Deadpool, which, well, I feel like he was like a much more, like, likable character in the comics because I felt like he actually had a personality instead of, like, the typical just, like, comedic guy that we know in the movies. Then there's Spider-Man, which, well, I always grew up on Spider-Man, and, well, his comics have really taught me a few things, actually. Then there's Wolverine, which, again, much like the situation with Deadpool, he was a lot more better written in the comics. So it was bound, and I'm not gonna lie, I don't like the Wolverine in the movies. I don't know why, it's just not really my kind of thing. Then it goes to Captain America, which, well, I'm putting on him mainly because of the stuff that happened during the Infinity War, like, arc that happened in the comics, which was just absolutely insane. And, well, lastly, Black Panther. Given that I actually haven't heard of the guy up until the movie, I figured I might as well read the comics, and I felt like the comics really showed more of what we could potentially see of Black Panther, so...
My top 5 heroes in comics would be Spider-Man, of course, because, you know, like Trash, I grew up on Spider-Man. Sonic the Hedgehog. I was a little boy when I got into the Archie comics. The Gunsmith Cats, Rally, Irene Vincent, and Minnie Mae Hopkins from the Dark Horse comic Gunsmith Cats, which at this point might as well be a manga now. The Flash, of course, the original Barry Allen, and the Boom comic version of the Power Rangers.
For me, I'm gonna be honest. For this type of question, I assume like comic books. Like if you're just sticking to the comics, not for like the comic book movies. So I'm interpreting it as that. But to be honest, I don't really have a lot of my favorite comic book heroes. The only comic book hero that I really loved over the years was Spider-Man. I love the comics, love the animes, the 90s anime series, even though it's dated now. The Sam Raimi movies, except for 3. And even the Homecoming movie, not the Andrew Garfield movie. But Spider-Man has always been my favorite comic book hero, and I imagine he'll always be my favorite comic book hero.
I'd say Invincible from Image Comics, because he's like, for me, like Superman, if Superman was more of a teenager-like aspect, and he has more human flaws. Like, if you ever read it, you will see how this guy is struggling every day just to be a superhero, even though he got all these powers that can just pretty muchly save the world at any moment. And then there's Tech Jacket, Image comic answer to Iron Man, but when Iron Man was a teenager. It's about this kid who struggles with alien tech that gives him the ability to do whatever he wants, but he struggles with his personal life because he was missing from Earth for a whole year. And then everyone's classic, Spider-Man, because, you know, I grew up with Marvel with my dad, and he had the most collection of Marvel comics, especially the Spider-Man comics. So I've been just reading him since I was like, since I could read. There's everyone's least favorite hero, but surprisingly favorite anti-hero, Deadpool. And it had to be Batman because it was the first comic issue I gave to my dad, because he never really liked DC until I introduced him to Batman. He kind of loved it. This question is, what is your top favorite villains in comics? Top 5, I mean.
In no particular order. Loki from Avengers, Toad from X-Men, Sabretooth from X-Men, Ultron from Avengers, and Vulture from Spider-Man.
Again, in no particular order, Thanos from, well, Avengers, because, well, I felt like that, well, even though we haven't seen the full extent of what Thanos will be like, I felt like he was a lot more of a diverse character in the comics. Then there's Red Skull from Captain America, which I know, talking about, like, the concept behind Red Skull and who exactly he runs is just a kind of a risque topic on here, but I feel like that Red Skull, well, much like with Thanos, was a much more interesting character in the comics because we actually saw a lot more of him. I mean, yeah, we saw like barely any of him in the movies, and that's kind of the fault on Marvel's part, but yeah. Then there's Galactus, which I think everyone knows at this point. He's just a giant man that wants to just destroy the world. Yeah, there's not really much you can say about him, except that, well, the reason why I like him is mainly because of Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3. Like, he was an absolute annoyance to take care of, but I liked the boss fight. Then there was Magneto from X-Men, and, well, my thoughts on Magneto are really few and far between, really. Like, I like him in the movies, I also like him in the comics. I can't really decide, like, which one's better, so I'm probably just going to say both on that one. And then, finally, well, Doctor Doom. I think everyone here can agree with me that Doctor Doom in the comics is quite possibly 10 times more better than he is in the movies, right?
Yeah, indeed.
Yeah, definitely. Because as well, we mentioned the Fantastic Four reboot earlier, it reminded me that, oh wait, Doctor Doom was kind of a terrible villain in the movie, and I'm thinking, oh no.
My top 5 favorite villains in comics are Venom, because, you know, symbiote power rock. Thanos. Dr. Eggman, because, I don't know, there's just something about his type of evil that you just can't help but want to come back to. Lord Drakon, who is the main antagonist for the Shattered Grid Power Rangers series, and Dr. Octopus, because due to what happens in the comic, he goes from being a evil scientist dude to being one of the great Spider-Men of the Spider-Verse.
For me, I only have one, like similar to the Spider-Man answer, I only have one particular villain based on what I've read from the Spider-Man comics, and I'm going to say Venom. He's more of a, he started off as a villain, but then he became more of an anti-hero, and I always liked that about him.
I have to say Dr. Octopus, the Joker, because come on, it's Joker. Who's not going to put the Joker on the top 5 of villains list? Then there's Thanos. Then there's I can't pronounce his name, but he's the main villain from the Watchmen. I want to say
Ozymandias.
And then everyone's favorite X-Men villain of all time, Mr. Sinister.
I wouldn't go that far.
Okay, now he's my favorite villain now. And now the next question: what comic have you read or heard that you thought was super strange?
I don't read a lot of comics. So I actually can't say off the top of my head anything I can think of.
Now, before I say mine, I do have to ask a question to you guys. How does a crossover with X-Men and Star Trek sound to you?
Ew.
No. No.
Well, this may come as a surprise, but I did find out that actually exists, and I read it and I was thinking, what the hell am I reading?
I need links.
I'll probably send them after the podcast is done, so...
Why? It makes more sense to cross them over with Star Wars, since technically Disney owns Star Wars now.
But this is back in the 90s. It was because Marvel was losing money at that time, and they had to branch out so that they can make some money. I think it's during the same time they were selling off their movie rights for those characters. Is that right, King? Not King. Is that right, Trash?
Yeah, I believe so.
Okay, for my answer, it would be this comic that this guy Brandon Santiago has been doing called Irma. It's a supernatural comic about the daughter of Sadako from The Ring. It's really strange but fun to read, and it has quite a few cameos and references to horror pop culture.
You know, I actually read that. That's a web series, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I just make sure.
Okay, where do I begin for this one? So here's the thing. I've I had a couple videos in the past. I've done a couple of comic book parodies because there's a lot of weird stuff that happens in Marvel. Tons. For example, Kitty Pryde dropping a racial slur in one of the Marvel comics. The Ant-Man shrinking to please his wife type of thing. But the absolute strangest thing to happen in the comics, in my opinion. In fact, I made like a Reddit video about this like a couple years ago. It's the Miss Marvel son storyline. Like the whole yeah, it's absolutely one of the strangest things. It started like Miss Marvel gave birth to her son, even though she never did it. Then the son grew up, revealed that brainwashed her and make her fall in love with him. And he took her to space. Then when she came back and all the Avengers supported the idea, it was like a really, really, really weird Miss Marvel storyline, in my opinion.
So basically, it's a mix of the Virgin Mary and incest.
Oh boy.
Basically, that's basically it.
Okay.
Oh boy.
For me, I had to say irredeemable. The concept behind it is pretty much weird. It's about what is the most powerful superhero turned into the most powerful supervillain. I never finished it, but from what I read of it, this storyline is so destructive that I believe like part of China got exploded because he threw diamonds from space, and they had to save only 2 people because he was throwing them so fast that they couldn't save anyone else from China. And then he was like tanking oceans and ripping them into countries.
What?
Yeah, you have to read it to believe it. It's called Irredeemable. It's from Boom Comics, if I remember.
Oh, so it's up there with Power Rangers.
Here's the next question. What comic would you read all over again if you had time to?
I don't think I have really any time for any. Like, I don't have time to reread anything.
Well, on my end, if I was actually given the time to, probably the 20 years worth of Sonic comics made by Archie Comics. I grew up with them, and well, it makes me feel, when I read these comics, it makes me feel like a kid again. So I just really would love to just recap on like all the stuff that's happened in the comics.
Oh, my turn. I think something that I would read all over again from the beginning, and some of y'all might hate me for this due to the controversy behind this creator, I think. But Bleedman's Powerpuff Girl Dougal webcomic. I think it was like everybody didn't like it or something because kept saying Bleedman was a pedophile or something. I don't know.
I'm trying to remember. Originally, I didn't really have an answer to this one, but I remember there was this one Avengers comic. I think it was Avengers Disassembled. It was pretty crazy now thinking about it. It involved Wanda creating reality, like Wanda creating like a reality in which Vision and her was married, have children, but then everyone else was dying in the Avengers Mansion. It was a pretty crazy comic when I think about it.
For me, it's tied between the 2 Spider-Man super arcs known as the Superior Spider-Man arc, which was an interesting take on the Spider-Man lore, and the Spider-Verse arc, which was just amazing. I love how they did it. Okay, is there anything you want to tell YouTube?
It should stop demonetizing people. I feel like people should be allowed to have opposing opinions and be able to swear without having their income taken.
Well, unfortunately, I can't really say anything here because, well, what I would be saying is pretty much what everyone else would have said already, you know, with demonetization stuff and all that nonsense. So I don't really have anything to add.
Is there anything I want to tell YouTube? Well, nothing nice.
Oh boy.
Oh god.
For me, apparently they're doing experimentations on the sub feed. I just want to say, leave it alone. You mess with the sub feed, you will further damage the platform. Certain channels will have more of an unfair advantage over other channels. It'll be more of a system similar to like Twitter and Instagram, and to be honest, it'll hurt content creators.
I'll have to say that please help the growth of smaller channels, because you're a platform that has been popular for like over, I want to say 7 years. I'm not really sure how old YouTube is. It came in like 2005 or so. But anyway,
Yeah, like 13 years,
13
I think.
That's what it was. You've been out for 13 years, and yet we still have we have problems with small channels like mine that can't get above 5,000, pretty much 5K subscribers because, you know, issues with YouTube's algorithm. And as well, a small problem on my part is how can I get my YouTube notifications back on my phone? Because I'm not getting, it's been like this for a week now, and I can't get any notification on my phone. I have to manually go to my subscription feed to watch YouTube videos from my favorite channels, which sucks.
Do you have the bell notification?
Yes, all of them.
That's weird.
I know, this is the second time it's happened. The first time I'll fix it by going back and deleting it, reinstalling it, and it worked. I did it already, it still has not worked.
Well, actually, I'm having a bit of problem with playlists. Yeah, like on the phone, I have to actually go all the way into my channel just to look at all my saved playlists.
What is your YouTube channel all about?
My YouTube channel used to be about making music videos, like PMVs, AMVs, but I just quit. I didn't have the editing programs anymore.
I need to seriously work on it, but eventually I want it to be more animated stories and such.
Well, funny thing about that, I only made a YouTube account just so I can comment on videos. I haven't actually made any content yet, and honestly, I think I should.
Well, I don't really have anything in my YouTube channel except for a few videos of my gameplay as Ayane from Dead or Alive, as well as Kanu, Hakufu, and Ryofu from Ikitusen in Senran Kagura Estival Versus.
So I do animated anime video game parodies on my channel. I also do occasional video game reviews there as well.
For me, I have two series, a podcast series which you're watching right now, and it's just so meta with that even watching the series that I'm talking about. And also the second series, which is a slightly less popular series, which is called Meteor C, in which I talk about characters from other franchises. Pretty much like if you have your own original character from a different franchise, I talk about that character. I like it. The only problem is I don't have enough editing skills to make any video popping and flashy like that, but it's getting better. Next question is, what's the one thing you want for your channel but you don't have now?
Would be good to have speed paints on there, which would also be for the next question.
Content.
Well, depending on whether I actually make content, I really want to get like something that can actually like get my channel actually like going. For example, I need something like Sony Vegas, so then I can actually start on like a good track with the content I make.
Everything. I'm joking. I would put let's play videos and maybe a few vlogs on my YouTube channel if I could.
For me, it's anime reviews. In fact, when I originally wanted to start my YouTube channel, I wanted to do anime reviews, but due to how anime reviewers kept getting screwed over by the YouTube copyright system, I decided not to do it. But someday, I hope I can transition the video game reviews to more anime reviews, but we'll see.
For me, I'll have to say a series about comic or gaming. I would like to do more comic and gaming based videos on my channel. The only problem is I don't know where to start because I've never done something like this in my life, and you know the whole rule, you get one life to live, there's no actual rule book you go by. But the other thing I'll say I want my channel to have is subscribers. I got 478 of them and I need some more. Next question is, what do you have planned for your channel in the future?
As soon as I get a recording program and remember to actually hit play, I'll speed paint.
Kind of stuff like this, just talking and telling stories and having cute little characters on screen, and maybe some fluid animation.
Well, again, depending if I actually make content or not, I was actually planning on doing reviews. Since I actually finished Persona 5 quite recently, I was going to start writing my review for that down sometime soon, even if I don't make any content, so...
Nothing at all.
For me, I want to go in the same... I want to go in the same direction as Rooster Teeth for my channel. Like, the anime and video game parodies are nice, but then I feel like they're like, not good in the long term, so I want to start working on more original series. In fact, I just saw a trailer for Bennett, a web series that Bennett the Sage is working on. It's a 3D animated, looks like a 3D animated series. But I want to produce my own series down the line. In fact, I'm learning Blender because I feel like if I can master Blender, then I can do more advanced stuff for this web series.
I would love to see that web series die. That seems like one of the better ideas.
Thanks.
I do watch Rooster Teeth like a lot, and I've seen their animation. They have a variety of different animations. You got 3D to like Rooster for their famous series Red vs. Blue and Ruby, and to 2D like their newer series known as I want to say the Wanderer of the I'm not sure if the one with the magician. We all know the series name.
Yeah, I know.
And the other series known as Camp Count. But for me, I would have to say what I want from my channel is just more videos that are interesting to people other than just doing videos on OCs. As well, I do want to have an animated series. When I was in high school, I actually had to work to make an animated series in flip notes. That was back when I knew how to draw, but now since I got older, my hands ain't good to draw anymore. So I just had to say pretty much editing videos are in my future. And the final question, and that's the question is, who is your favorite YouTuber right now?
It's pretty close, but I think at the moment I just have to say Brave Wilderness.
The odd one's out. He tells stories, and he's just really funny. I feel like I should go subscribe. He's great.
Well, I actually have two. One is actually in this call right now. Funny thing actually. I started rewatching your animations again, and it's been quite a while since I've watched animations because, I've been busy with life stuff, of course. And the first video that I came back to watching, I think you might actually remember it because I believe you live streamed making it. Poochie Teaches Theology.
Yes, that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Now, that left me just absolutely dumbfounded because I finished like JoJo Part 6. And I'm thinking, yes, this makes sense. And I still need to catch up with some of the other stuff you created, and heck, I still need to actually catch up with some of the streams you're on. But yeah. Now the second YouTuber I want to mention, I would actually be surprised if you guys actually heard of him. Acry Weaver. Now, if you haven't heard of him, he makes. Actually, I don't know what the hell to call it. He doesn't make reviews. He makes. Well, the videos he makes are on the lines of like The Escapist, sort of, and except with just a lot more dark humor and just a lot more just witty banter, and it's absolutely great. So once this podcast actually finishes, I'd recommend checking him out when you get the chance to.
Yeah, I think I will. And thanks for the compliment, dude. I honestly appreciate it.
Don't worry about it.
My favorite YouTubers are Die.
I feel bad now for being this podcast.
No, don't worry about it. It's fine.
I love your animations. I forgot how I even got into watching your animations or hearing about you. But I think my favorite of one of your animations is Saber and her magnificent.
That one.
What about?
I wish that video wasn't demonetized. I really wish it wasn't because it turns out a lot of fake people been quoting that video, a lot of them. But because I added so many dick jokes in that freaking video, the video was demonetized.
Yeah, I think my favorite part out of that video would be, "Father, come out and fight me so I can fix my daddy issues."
Oh God.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. Out of all the scripts I've written, that one I had the most fun writing thus far.
The other YouTubers I like would be, I don't know if he's up there with like Markiplier and them, even though he knows Markiplier and them, but Dashy XP. And he yells a lot. And there's another one, Sacred Guard. He does playthroughs for certain visual novel games and stuff like that. Like he does playthrough for Monster Girl Quest, and then there's Lude Lamia. That's it.
For me, I'm gonna say for like YouTube advice, I watch Tim Schmoyer. In fact, I recommend anyone who wants to get into YouTubing to watch Tim Schmoyer. For anime gaming news, I watch TGN Anime, even though, to be honest, I really don't trust TGN. But the host for TGN Anime is pretty good. His advice for Dragon Ball FighterZ has been really, really helpful for me thus far.
For me, this want to be a little selfish or a little greedy, but I will say I'm just going to pick one. For me, I say for trivia, I like to go with Did You Know Gaming or Did You Know Anime. Mostly those two channels for trivia videos, or then the Vsauce series. But for animations or overall watching videos, it'll be a tie between Daitomodachi's works, which yes, even I'm one of your. I'm not saying I'm your biggest fan, but I'm one of your fans. And it would be little shy FIM, if any of you guys know who bronies are. Yes, I'm a brony. But those are mostly the channels I watch. There are other channels, but they're also, I just can't say them because you guys are being honest, and I don't want to be that one guy say, oh, let's go mainstream channels. So I went with the lesser known channels. And there's also Scott the Walls I've been watching recently after he was suggested by not Proto ZD. What was that guy? The guy who does Know Your Move series from YouTube.
You said Know Your Moves, right?
Yeah.
You're talking about Relax, right?
Yes, him. Relax. I've been watching him more often. And I have to say, they're smaller channels, and I've been watching more smaller channels because it's like that phrase my friend told me: you gotta know the smaller guys in order to get to the big guys. Because if you can know what the small works are doing, that way you can build yourself up, thus making yourself more successful for bigger channels. And I've seen this growth channel with Casey Neistat. Because when he was a small channel, no one watched him. I mean, not many people watched him. I was one of his few watchers, and then after I stopped watching him, I seen him blow to like nearly not a million, but 1,000 subscribers overnight. Now he's like top tier YouTuber. I'm like, wow, which I want to watch what he was doing.
Yeah, the YouTube algorithm is pretty unpredictable at times, but the best thing to do is just keep at it and just don't stop believing when it comes to stuff like that.
Like that song, if I may quote it, don't stop believing. You're gonna go very far now.
I know the song. In fact, it's one of my favorite songs.
Oh, okay. So, Journey. Okay.
Yeah, Journey.
I think there's also another YouTuber called Maximilian Dude.
Yes. I've been watching his stuff as well. He's pretty good.
I used to watch his Assist Me series all the time. I love his head canon for Doctor Doom.
I'm going to say it was fun being on this podcast. I actually enjoy like going on these podcasts because I actually like talking about stuff like anime, video gaming, and YouTubing. So it's definitely been fun being on here. Yeah, I want to thank Nitro for letting me be on here.
As for my thoughts of the matter, there is one thing I'd like to add. Given that this is actually the first podcast I've actually been on, I actually feel kind of honored to actually be, allowed to do this, and well, again, I have to thank Nitro for that one. So, yeah, thanks.
Yeah, I guess that would be the same with me. This is literally the first podcast and publicity I've gotten as a YouTuber.
You're welcome, guys. I'm just feel happy that we was able to get almost every person on the podcast at one time to record this to have fun with each other. Because I believe that we're in an age where technology has made it possible that we can talk to people across the country, even across the globe, and talk to them like they're just right next door, or even right next to you. And I just feel glad you guys was welcome to be on the podcast. This is my second podcast doing, and I am just glad we was able to have fun with that. And if there's anything else, also put out the outro.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, here's the outro. Well, that was an awesome look at this podcast. I hope that you, the faithful viewer, had a fun time watching it, as well as watching the videos of these other creators on the site as well. Please subscribe to Daitomodachi, Trashman Benjo, and King Jeter to see their videos and their works as they go and continue on. And I hope that you watch having fun in this video. Now remember to smile.